So if you hear from the school that your child is below grade level in reading, what do you do? How do you help your child? And more importantly, why are they behind grade level? There's options, right? Tutoring, school interventions. However, you might be disappointed in the outcome of those types of interventions. Roughly 70% of kids can learn to read no matter how you teach them. They have the skills to do it. The other 30% need explicit help with reading, getting to the root cause, figuring out where has the brain not been processing correctly to be able to translate sounds and codes into reading and blending and finding meaning from what you're reading. So the key is to go back to the foundation to determine what didn't click, right? And what I mean by going back to the foundation is literally starting with, this is the code for A, which is A, right? So a sound to code method of training is really important. So that is one. The other is, the key is to get to the root cause. So when I say the root cause, like what is usually the root cause of reading struggle? So this is for a child, for an adult. Almost always, if a child struggles with reading, it is because of two low skills. The most commonly low skills for kids who struggle with reading is low memory and low auditory processing. The reason memory is so critical for reading is, you think about a first grader trying to retain sight words. That's all memory work. And if every time they come to the word there or can or the, and they have to sound it out, that's a memory issue. About 60% of our language is non-phonetic words. I mean, it's not an easy language to read, right? You've got words like comb, bomb, and tomb, right? And how do you know the difference? Or a word like said, how do you know that's SAID? And the answer is, I don't know. You just have to remember it. And if memory is not strong, that's going to be really hard for a child. And word recognition becomes very difficult. When that is also met with auditory processing weaknesses, auditory processing is our brain's ability to segment and manipulate sounds correctly. So a young child or an individual, when they have strong auditory processing and you see a word like cat, there's the ability to break that into k, cat, and then blend it. If auditory processing is not a strength, that's just kind of jumbled sound. And the ability to blend those sounds becomes really difficult. So if a child has low memory and low auditory processing, then it's kind of like, well, of course they're going to struggle with reading because they lack the skills to do it. And that is the key to helping with reading issues, because most school interventions or tutoring, for the most part, what you're doing is more reading. Practice helps, but none of that kind of work is addressing the root cause or removing the obstacle as to why a child struggles in the first place. So the key to improving reading skills and really unlocking reading is to address the root cause, which is almost always related to weaker cognitive skills.